All right, so it's 10 o'clock, we're at the hour, and I want to welcome everybody to this webinar today on mobile app building in eMarketeer. And the focus today, or the example today, is how to build a Corona information app to your staff. This is just going to be an example of how you build apps, and this is the case that we're gonna be using today. So if you've never built an app in eMarketeer before, that's perfect. If you've already done an app, stick along, because maybe there are some things that you can pick up here that you didn't know about. And it is, of course, your chance as well to ask me questions about the app building that you've been doing in eMarketeer. So that's the let's get going on that. My name is Klaus. I work here at eMarketeer. I've been here for around 10 years doing marketing, working with eMarketeer from the strategic and from the business perspective as a user. So I've got a lot of experience in my belt, under my belt in this area. So I hope to be able to inspire you today. We're scheduled to be around 45 minutes, depending on how many questions you have. And again, can't stress this enough. Do ask me questions. Do give me feedback and comments and observations in the questions box. I will do my best to pick up on the questions during the webinar and follow up after the webinar in the Q&A session. So if you have ideas, if you've done a cool app yourself and you're courageous enough to share it, paste a link in the questions box and I'll be happy to share your work so we can discuss. So anything here to get some inspiration going will be great. So do use that opportunity to make this not just a monologue there. So today, the objective is to get familiar with mobile web apps in general, and of course, how to build them and distribute them in eMarketeer. I'm betting that a lot of you are using eMarketeer primarily for your mail campaigns, newsletters, maybe some surveys and forms, but haven't really ventured into the app space yet. And this is a great opportunity, if for nothing else, and try just to build the app for yourself to see how it works. And I'm sure ideas will start popping up on how you could be using those apps for customers, for prospects, and for staff, for your colleagues. People are so mobile, in particular these days where everybody's working from home. They always have their mobile phone around, and it's just a great platform to utilize. And the cool thing here is, if you've done anything in eMarketeer, basically, if you've just done an email, you can also do a mobile app, because yeah, it's just eMarketeer, so it's exactly the same way that you're used to be working. So there is really no technical limitations or borders hindering you to get started here. I guess most of you know eMarketeer. We are a Swedish-based software company. We are based just outside Stockholm in Kista. We've been in the cloud since 2002 with our marketing automation platform. So that's our background. And as you know, or may know, the eMarketeer toolbox is pretty big. It has a lot of different components, ranging from emails to landing pages and SMSs and surveys and lots of stuff. And today we're going to focus primarily on the mobile apps piece. So there's a lot more you can do, obviously. And the cool thing here is that these things rely on each other, right? It's no fun having a mobile app if you can't distribute it. So you need emails and SMSs and to get it out there into people's phones. And once it's there, maybe you want to gather some feedback. So you want to have some forums where people can ask you questions or submit their observations, and you can use forums for that. So even though we're going to focus on mobile apps, it still touches a lot of the other components here. And that's what's so cool about, what I think is so cool about eMarketeer, is you've got all these things and you can combine them into your projects pretty easily. So yeah, I'm drinking my own Kool-Aid here, I can hear. So let's dive right into it and have a look at what is an app. And the first thing is a little bit, it's not a technical thing really, but it's more of getting some expectations aligned here, because you all have apps on your phones and on your tablets, your mail apps, Facebook, Instagrams, whatnot. And these are native apps. A native app means that the app lives on the device. So you've gone to an app store, you've downloaded the app, and it's installed on your phone, right? So it lives on the device. It works offline when you don't have internet connection, at least most do. It's platform specific, meaning that the app developer will have to build one app for iPhone and one app for Android phones and so on. And you have to go through the app stores, right? So in order to get your app onto people's phones, you have to get it through the app store, which means approval processes and some admin work there. And of course, it requires development skills. And all of these things are what's keeping a lot of companies from doing apps. Either they have to buy these services externally from agencies, which can be costly and it can take time, and they don't have these skills in-house. And on the contrary, you have web apps, which are the ones you build in eMarketeer. So a web app lives in the browser on the phone or on the tablet. So regardless of which phone, they all have a browser, at least if you've progressed from the Nokia 3210. Most of them have web browsers. So they're all good to go with your apps. It works online when you have internet connection, and it even works offline because it's cached on many phones. So you can still view the app offline. There may be things that you won't be able to do, like following links and submitting forms and stuff like that. But the major part of the app will be cached on the phone, so you can still view it offline. But it's not completely functional offline. It's platform agnostic, which is just fancy talk for it works on all phones. As long as the phone has a browser, it works there. So you just build one and it functions on all the devices out there. You distribute it via a link, so either via a text message with a link or an email, or even you can do these fancy QR code that people can scan with their phones, and they can get the app onto their phone that way. So that means you don't have to go through app stores to get the app on people's phones. So there are no approval processes, there's no technicalities or admin work. When you're ready with the app, you can push it out to your app users. And lastly, it requires no coding skills, no development skills whatsoever. If you can do eMarketeer, you can do an app. So those are the two, there are also hybrid apps and but these are the two major categories of apps. So, some people may say, well, it's not really an app because it runs in the browser. Well, yeah, but it looks like an app. It runs full screen, as you will see, and you've got a lot of the features that you would want in an app like this. So, there are pros and cons for both native apps and web apps. We think web app is the easiest, most cost-effective, quickest way to go. The cool thing here is as well, you develop the app, or build the content of your app, you distribute it to your user's phone, and once it's on the phone, whatever you do in eMarketeer, when they go into the app and refresh the app, it's already there, so they don't have to re-download or upgrade the app. You already have it on their phone. All right, so let's move on. I'm just going to see there's some questions popping in here. If people have some questions around the webinar, whether it will be recorded. Absolutely, you will get the webinar, you will get the slides, and any additional content that I mentioned here during the webinar. I'll make sure to send all of that to you in a follow-up email. So don't worry about that. Some examples of how our customers use app, like obviously for events like trade shows and big customer events, apps are like the new trend there. Everybody wants an app for their event where you have your agendas and your speakers and maybe some videos and breakout session agendas and stuff like that. So that's been around for a while. But we're seeing customers use apps in a lot of different ways as well, like doing interactive brochures that their customers can have on their phone, like product documentation, staff onboarding. When you get new staff in, even before they have their first day at the job, you can send them an app. It has their onboarding schedule, who are you going to meet? This is your team. These are the important phone numbers. These are the office hours, the staff guide, a handbook, like all that stuff you would want to put on an intranet or in a document to a new hire. Put it on an app, send that to your new colleague. It will make you look modern, and it'll be in sync with your new colleagues' lifestyle, because we're so mobile. Human resources use apps to communicate to staff, especially in these times. Maybe you have a trade show where you want to get some info out on a tablet in an easy way. You can do that. Student communications, so much more. So the app templates you'll see in eMarketeer, they may have a specific purpose or specific name, but that doesn't mean you can't turn them into whatever it is that you need. If you have any ideas about apps that you want to bounce around, just let me know in the questions box. All right, so here are some app examples from some of our customers, just some look and feel. So you can see that it's really possible to style them quite differently depending on what you look like and what your brand is. And as with anything in eMarketeer, you can customize this completely to your look and feel. And if you have a completely different app design altogether that really challenges this template, let us know and we can help you develop the HTML to your app, and let's get that into a template for you as well. So that's obviously part of our support and consulting team's capabilities to do that. So if you're not happy with what you have there in the content blocks and whatnot that you need for your apps, just let us know and we can work on that with you. Just want to show you an example of an app already, just to give you an idea of how the app looks on the phone. Just let me grab my phone and move it onto the screen. Just bear with me. Okay, so I hope that you see a mobile phone on the screen right now, which is my phone, so it's really a mess, but it's okay for this purpose. You see I've got two apps here, an eMarketeer app and then the COVID-19 app that we're going to build. But I just want to show you what the app feels like and looks like when it's on your user's phone. So you see it has an app icon there. It's on my home screen. I can click it and it opens up. Now it runs in the browser, but it's full screen, so you can't really see that this is a web app. It kind of looks like an app. And I've got my different tabs there, and I can click the different tabs to open up the different sections to go into the different areas of the app here. So there's the About section. I'm going to go back. I've got an agenda. So again, this is the one we use for new staff coming on to eMarketeer. So at the agenda here, that's a little bit slow updating on the screen. On the agenda, I have the onboarding schedule, like who are you going to talk to, who are you going to meet, which room are you going to be at for the specific days and stuff like that. So a lot of different things you can put in. What about your colleagues? Maybe you want to show your colleagues who's in your team and so on. So this is just one example, which I think is a great use case for you in the marketing team to help out your colleagues in HR to do a great first impressions on new hires. So this is just an idea for what you could use an app for. All right, so I hope you saw the phone. I'm just going to slide it out of the way, and we'll get back to that at a later point when we're looking at the app delivery. All right, so let's dive into looking at eMarketeer and how the app actually is built inside the platform. So let's dive right into it. Now, again, I'm going to record everything, and this is not going to be a deep dive of all the nitty-gritty details of building everything from scratch. So don't worry too much about where I click and specifically how I do stuff. There's always help to be had on this topic. So this is just getting you up to speed on what's possible with apps in eMarketeer. All right, so I'm going to go into to my campaign and start building an app. So I'm going to go into my, just a sec. I want to make sure that's attached. Yeah, we're good. I'll just go into my folder and find my webinar campaign for this purpose. Webinar, and as you can see, it's all organized in folders here. And I've got a mobile apps for webinar campaign. So I'm just going to open up any old campaign in eMarketeer. I could obviously create a brand new campaign. And over here on the left-hand side, you will see mobile app is mentioned in the components here. It's available for both eMarketeer Basic and eMarketeer Pro users. So I'm going to click the mobile app button here, and I need to give my app a name. I'm going to call this Corona app. And then the page title, this is what is going to show on the mobile phone home screen of my user's phone. And the web page name is what's going to be shown inside eMarketeer. And here you'll see some mobile app templates. We've got the Corona information app, we've got an events app, an advanced and basic versions. These two are pretty much the same when it comes to the layout, but the advanced one lets you modify even more of the content, like all of the colors, all of the text fonts and everything. So everything can really be granularly customized to you. Whereas the basic ones, you just change one color code or something like that, and the whole app adapts to that specific color. So you have some more editing options in the advanced one there. I'm gonna grab the Corona app template, and create. And by the way, this one is obviously in your eMarketeer account already, so you can start using it. Now, when you get into the app interface here, you'll recognize eMarketeer right away. So on the left-hand side here, as you're familiar with, you've got your add content, move content around. You can go into the style sheet, so change colors and fonts. You can go into HTML mode if you want to mess with the HTML behind the template. You can share a link to the app that you're working on, and you can change the title. And in the middle, you've got the preview of the app. So this is the home page of the app. This is the page that you will see on the phone. And then underneath, you will see all of the sub pages, right? So for instance, company guidelines here, when you click that on your phone, it will open up the sub page company guidelines down here. So, but to make it easier for you to edit the app, all of the pages are in one long scroll here when you're in the editor. So obviously, this is not how it's going to look on the phone. The phone will go away, Microsoft. There we go. The home screen here will be the only thing that they see, and then they click through to the sub pages here. When you double click the home page, you get content over here. So just like when you edit your newsletters or your campaigns in eMarketer in general, it works exactly the same way. But this app has a lot of functions up here. Let me zoom in. A lot of options for you to choose from to really decide how your app should look. So the first thing is the front page navigation is listed up here. And you have a couple of options. I have an icons list, lists and icons. So you'll see if I change and click save, you'll see that the home page here changes to icons instead. So I've got 3 different layouts: icons, a lists, and an icon list. So you have a little bit of flexibility there on how you would want the home page to look. And then you've got the individual pages that are in this template, like import links, coverage, guidelines, forms, directions, home office tips. These are all the pages you're seeing over here. And you can see you can switch pages on or off, right? So if I would like to remove the FAQ page, for instance, I just go no, and I save, and the page disappears over here from the navigation, and the sub page down here disappears as well. So it's easy to decide how little or how much content you would want to put into your app right here. You can also click the headlines of the pages here to edit the names. So let's say you would like the home office tips to be like home office guidelines. You just change the heading here, and the heading will change over here, and it will change on the sub page as well. So just click the stuff that you want to edit and do that. The first thing here is I want to put in my logo instead. Let's see. I'm just going to use the logo that's on the account here. Obviously, you can go ahead and choose an image and choose another logo than the standard one that you have on your account. You can do a complete app banner that is specific for your app here. It's totally up to you. You'll see the logo will replicate to all of the sub pages as well. So with a very few tweaks, the whole app experience is customized to your brand. There are also things you can see here like the info regarding Corona. Let's say you did not want that headline. You can just go ahead and delete it and save, and then the white space will disappear and everything will look like it was never intended to be there. So it's a lot of flexibility. So play around with the different fields you see here in the options bar here. It's really quite straightforward to make the app look and feel like you want to. When it comes to the colors and the styles, obviously we've pre-chosen some styles for this template, but as with anything else in eMarketeer, you can modify this completely. So on the styles tab, you'll see all of the color codes that are in play. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna click colors and fonts over here. Sorry about that. Colors and fonts in left-hand column, and you will see all of the colors in use for the buttons, for the backgrounds, text, everything. So if I wanted to change the main color of the app, I'm just going to copy this one to something different. Let's say I wanted to go for a dark green look instead. Just click save. So this would obviously be a corporate color. You'll see the buttons change, headlines, the navigation arrow there changes automatically. So it's pretty easy to make the look and feel of the app change and be customized to your use there. Okay, so let's go back here. There are already a couple of questions coming in. Let's just see. How does it scale to an iPad tablet in landscape orientation? Basically, the app is responsive. So on a tablet, it will scale up in portrait mode. It will scale up to look like a big app on the phone. And in landscape, I think it will. Let's see, actually, if yeah, it will scale. Let me pull my phone back in here, or try to pull my phone in. Come along. Wouldn't expect my phone to have stage fright. There we go. So here's the app, and now I changed the phone. It doesn't look like this on my screen. Damn it. What it does is really, it takes this view and broadens it to the width of the phone. So you would be scrolling through the menus there as I see it on my phone. It doesn't look like this. It's the screen sharing app I have on my phone that's not quite up to snuff there. So basically what it would do, it would be wide, and it would show parts of the menu here that you then would be scrolling through. So if you're designing an app for the portrait mode, you want to think about maybe doing icons instead of icon lists, and you would want to think about the content to portray nicely in the landscape mode there instead. Okay. Hope that answered that question, Carl. Now, as we want to go through and edit some of the content of the subpages, when you scroll down, you see the subpages down here, and you will see when you mouse over, you'll see the different blocks that are in this. And obviously, when you click plus, you will see additional content blocks. So just because these are the 3 or the 4 that we've put onto this page, you have all of the different content blocks available to put in on any page if you would like. So if you want to add a video or an image to any page, you just go ahead and pick those from the content block library over here. So if I wanted to do home office guidelines, I want to take this video away because that is an eMarketeer video, and I want to add a YouTube video onto this page. I just click plus. And from the content block library, YouTube video, I'm going to add a block there. And then on YouTube, I found a recommendations video from the World Health Organization. So what I'm grabbing, I'm just grabbing the video ID. So if you, the part of the URL is the video ID, I'm just going to copy that. And then in eMarketeer, in my video block, I'll just drop the video ID into the block here and save. And then the video will be added to my app, and it will play inside the app, or will go full screen in the app, and then I can close the video and I'm still back in my app. So it's really easy to get interactive content. You also have the media blocks that you're used to. So if you have presentations from SlideShare or those brochure-like flip-through magazines or any interactive content like that, you can put them into media blocks on the app, and they will work inside the app as well, which is really nice. If you want more buttons to link to other places, you can go ahead and add as many buttons as you would like. And just go ahead and click those buttons, and then they will conform to the style sheet, the colors that you had set originally. So it's pretty straightforward to add content on the go. Now remember, once you've done the app and you're distributing the app to your audience, you can still add more content to it as time goes by. So even though it's out there on the phone, you can still add content in eMarketeer, and when your user goes into the app, they will have a refresh button up here. They can click refresh, and then the content will be refreshed completely. So it's a nice courtesy for you as well to put in an updated date here, so people can see when the app was last updated. So when you hit the refresh, they can see when content changed there, and the app, the date, you can put that in to your liking, just using the clicking the block here and setting in a date. So that's how the app is refreshed. They simply hit the refresh button. That's nice because it also works offline. So the app is cached on the phone, works offline. When they go in, and they click the refresh, if they're online, they would have the latest content there. Some of the nice buttons that you may, or blocks that you may not be familiar with from other apps or other components in eMarketeer is the agenda, which is really nice for apps. You will add an agenda row like this, and you can add several, of course. So let's say we wanted to do a virtual information meeting about the corona situation in our company. We can add an agenda. We have the time, so we will start at 10 o'clock. 10:30, we have introduction from HR, and I'll say Bill will give an update on the current situation or something like that. Save, and that goes into the agenda. So you can add more points to the agenda. You can build a full-fledged agenda there for your event or the sessions or the staff schedule or whatever it is that you want to put in there. So just adding more rows, and under each thing here, you could also add maybe you want to add a link. So if Bill from HR there, he takes questions during his from you before this session here, why not add a button there that says ask Bill a question, and then you can submit your question through the app, so Bill has some questions to go on when he starts his session. So we're going to click the button there and say ask Bill question. And then here you can link to a form that would capture that question and send it to Bill. I've already done a form, so I'm just going to browse here. I'm going to say link to eMarketeer form, choose campaign. It's already pre-selected mine, and it shows the form that I have in my campaign. You can choose to make the link anonymous so that the form will not know who's visiting the form, or you can make it a personal link, which means that you can actually see who answered the form. So depending on the types of question and what you're telling your audience, you want to make sure that you choose the right one. The personal link is nice if you use a contact registration, because all of the fields will be pre-populated with the data you have. So that brings me to an important point here. The app is actually personal, or you can personalize it. Because you're distributing it via an SMS or via an email, the app knows who's opening the app, right? So if I'm sending this to Tom's phone or to Bill's phone or to Louise's phone, the app knows where it is. So you can even personalize the content inside the app. So if I wanted to add on the home screen a personal message, I could do that. So so let's say I'm going to say, hi, Klaus, enjoy the app. So I would not put Klaus in there, obviously. I would put a merge field in there. Sorry, it's early, apparently, for me. I'm going to put in a merge field, and it's going to merge in the person's first name of the person using the app, right? So if you're distributing this app via email or via SMS, you can use personalization, use all of the fields you have on your contact card, and merge that into the content of your app. Now again, you can also use fallback values. So I'm just going to zoom in here. So you see hi first name, fallback equals, now it's empty. So if you are not sure that you have first names on all of the people you're distributing the app to, you can use a fallback value here that will be displayed if the first name field is empty. So now I'm using hi, which is kind of loose there. So hi first name, it could be hi there. Hi there, hope you enjoy the app. Or hi Klaus, hope you enjoy the app. Both would work. So I'm not sacrificing personalization just because I don't have perfect data on all of my app users. That's pretty nice. Also good if you're considering mixing the way you distribute the app. So if you distribute part of the to part of the audience, you're distributing it via SMS, and to another part of the audience, you're distributing just a link, for instance, in a QR code. Obviously, that link won't know who's opening the app, but it works in both cases because you've taken care of fallback values that make your content readable and logical, even though you don't have the personal information in the fields. Let me see if there are any questions here. Wow, lots of questions coming through. Okay. Here's a question from Carl. Will there be a template that get a better user experience in landscape mode? That's a great suggestion, Carl. I'll take that up with the dev team. If we can look at doing some iPad in landscape mode, that's a really good idea. Do you support Vimeo video? Absolutely, Tom. Let us go in here where we are asking a question, and I'm going to put in a video here. I'm just going to go into Vimeo. There we are, Vimeo. Jeez. For some reason, typing and talking at the same time is really not my strong suit. Vimeo, okay, finally, we're approaching. I want to grab a Vimeo video. So if your company uses the Vimeo platform, you can do that. It's been a while since I've been here, actually. Let me just see Vimeo. Search. So let's just grab a video. And what I'm going to do here, Tom, is just grab this one. And once you're on the Vimeo page for this specific video, you will see the URL up here. I'm just going to copy that. Let's pause this. So I'm copying the link, and in eMarketeer, I'm adding a media block, and I'm pasting in the Vimeo link to that media block. Now, it's a little bit different than the YouTube one because YouTube and the other media types behave a little bit differently. So we've had to add two types of block here. So I'm just going to paste in Vimeo, and it's fetching the video from Vimeo. It's adding the cover photo. It's adding the play button, and it is sizing it correctly into my app. So it will play right inside the app here. It looks a little bit cut off here, but it doesn't on the actual app. It will go all the way to the sides here and run like you would expect, embedded into. Yeah, so we cover more than 250 media formats. You'll see over here, it says help and supported formats. If you click that link, you will see all of the media formats that the media block understands. So that's really a good list to check out if you have content on other platforms, but you can just go ahead and check it out as well. Paste in your media link and see how it behaves there. So hope that cleared that question, Tom. Yeah, so that also, here's a question from Lillian. Why didn't you copy the whole link from YouTube? In apps, Lillian, YouTube videos behave a little bit different. For instance, if you have the YouTube app installed on your phone and you click the YouTube link in a normal video block, it will go over to the YouTube app, open up the YouTube video in the YouTube app and run there, which isn't really what you want. So we've had to do a specific YouTube video block for the mobile apps to use. So that's why you would see that we have the media block that you may be familiar with from elsewhere in eMarketeer and a YouTube specific one. That's simply because YouTube behaves a little bit different when it's on the phone. It will open up the YouTube app if that app is already installed on the phone. So good catch there, Lillian. There is a little bit of a difference there compared to how you would normally embed a YouTube video in your eMarketeer components. So I hope that answered that question. Jenny asks, is it possible to send push notifications through the web app? No, Jenny, that's not possible. You can't send push notifications to the web app here. So what you would do if you have something really crucial that you want to communicate to the app users and you've got their mobile number, you can send them an SMS and let them know about new content. Check out the app. Remember to click refresh. We've got some new content for you there. So that's the way you want to go ahead and do that. And also, Jenny asks, how does the SMS feature work? Can you see that connected to the web app? Absolutely, and I want to show you how that's done, Jenny, in just a second, how you would distribute it with SMSs and how those things work. So the whole distribution of how do you get the app onto people's phone, I'll show you that. Okay, great with the questions, keep them coming, and as I continue, because it's really helpful to get some inspiration across the board here. So you can see the app, you can build up all of the sub pages and make your app ready for your participants there or your colleagues. Some things here, for instance, if this was an event, you could imagine one of the cool things of having an event app is that you could extend the lifetime of your event, meaning that you obviously have the event day where everybody is on site. But if you have an app, you can distribute the app to your event goers a couple of days before to get some buzz going, to get them up to speed on what the agenda is and driving directions and videos and maybe a message from the CEO or the host of the event. And then at the event, you want to have evaluations, questions boxes, personalized agendas in the app. And then after the event, maybe you want to have videos from the event, pictures from the event. So you can see how you can extend the lifetime of the event to before the event and after the event. Now, what you can do in the app is you can prepare some of these pages beforehand, right? So let's say I have the 2 pages that are focused on what is going to happen at the event. Evaluation boxes, personalized agendas, and stuff like that. I can prepare the pages and then I can switch them off, right? So in the editor, as you'll remember, I have the yes, no options. So you can imagine these 4 pages here, these 2, 1 and 2, they're the ones that should be visible during the event, and these 2 are the ones that should be visible after the event. I can simply prepare them and then switch them off. And then come event day, I could switch them on, and when people go into the app and click refresh, the pages will be there visible for them. So I've prepared them beforehand and I'm ready for the event, and I can just open up the pages at the event day or after the event. So the app can actually house more information than the visitor sees, depending on what you're showing and hiding here. Just remember, if you hide a page, you can't edit it, because if you hide it, it's also gone from the editor. So make sure to prepare the page and hide it, and then you're ready to open it up when your recipient should be seeing the page. All right. Now, if I have any eMarketeer colleagues here who thinks I'm forgetting anything with regards to editing the app, go ahead and let me know in the questions box, guys, and I'll make sure to cover this stuff. If you have more questions about editing and adding content to the app, let me know, because now I'll be moving on to how you distribute the app and get it into people's phones. So keep the questions coming around editing and adding content, and I'll be happy to go over these things as well. Now I'm going to go back to my campaign and create the distribution of the app. So here is my app that I just built. I'm going to move it a little bit to the side there. Come along. So that's the one we just built. Now, you can obviously create a link to the app that will open on people's phone. And for instance, this link you can turn into a QR code or similar. So you can put your app QR code in your storefront, in your offices, at your event booth, whatever, where you need people to see that, hey, we have an app, click here to check it out. So that's one way of getting it, is simply clicking publish and clicking get the direct URL. So this URL will open up in the browser on the phone when the link is opened on the phone. If you're using domain customization in eMarketeer, that will obviously be customized as well. The good thing about most mobile phones, they can scan QR codes, so that's a good way to distribute them that way. But remember, if you do it like that, the app won't be personal. It won't know who's opening the app. So you can still track the app usage, how many people click and open and stuff like that, but they will be anonymous. And the content that you have tried to personalize in the app will be anonymous. So it's not optimal for that personal experience, but it's a great way of getting an app onto your event booth if you can't distribute it via SMS or email. Now, if you want to go ahead and do it via an SMS, here's how. So I've created a little SMS. It's just a standard SMS in eMarketeer. And I'm going to type the message, hi, first name. Here is the COVID-19 info app. Make sure to add it to the home screen of your mobile phone, and then link to app. And here's the link that I put in. And it's simply a matter of clicking. I'm just going to delete the link here so you can see how I insert the link to the app. So I'm going over here to insert link. And just with any other link, you can browse to a form, web page, file. This is a web page, so I'm going to browse to the web page, and it shows me the web pages I have in my campaign, and I have the Corona app. That's it. Then the link is added. The link looks a little bit long when you're looking in the editor, but keep in mind that we're shortening all links to look nice on the phone. So as you'll see over here, the link is shortened, right? So it doesn't take up 5 SMSs to send that long link. So this link is now individual on every recipient's phone, which means that the app will know which phone it is opened on and which person it belongs to. You can choose a sender ID. If you haven't created a custom sender ID, click the learn more about sender ID to figure out how. It's really easy to do. Just let them know which name you would like. And that means that the message will actually come from your company name, right? So instead of saying eMarketeer, it'll be your company name up here when you send the SMS. So that's how you prepare your app delivery SMS, create a personal message, link to the app, choose your sender ID, and save your message. And now you can go ahead and send it to your recipients like you would send any email, for instance. Just, of course, you need to have the mobile phone numbers with international dial-in codes in front in eMarketeer. I will go to send now, or I can schedule the send out to go out on a specific date, or I can automate the send out to happen when people order the app or whatever from a form, for instance. So you click send now, you choose your recipients. I'm gonna say all contacts in this campaign, but you can choose from your CRM system or lists and files. You would go to through the send card, just like you're used to from emails, continue to the checklist. And the checklist will tell you the status of the send out, saying, okay, there are related costs because we charge per SMS that you send, because we pay the mobile carriers for this. It will say when it's scheduled, that it will not resend if previously it was sent to the same contact person, and so on. So you got a little send card checklist situation going on here, and you can go ahead and click launch the SMS. So that's how you send the app to your users using SMS text messages. You can use personalization. The SMS can come from your company name. The links are individual. It's a great way to get apps into people's phone. Just remember, you need the +44, the +45, or whatever the international code in front of people's phone numbers. That is key. Another way to get the app onto the phones of your users is to send an email. So again, just like you would create any other email in eMarketeer, you create your content, you can personalize it. And in this case, I have a link that says get app, which is on Marketeer, I guess. So clicking that, opening up, I will go to browse. And just as I did in the SMS, I will check the link to web page and guide the button to the web page that I just built, the Corona app. So that's it. Send the email to your contact persons. When you're doing it in the email, maybe I want to make sure that in the email text, I would tell my recipients, open this email up on your mobile phone before you click here. Obviously, they can watch it on their laptop as well. They click and they get the app in their browser, but obviously this is intended for the mobile phone. So maybe a good little instruction here would be, hi, dear event goer or dear colleague, click here, open this email on your mobile phone and click the button to get the app and save it to your home screen. So that is how easy it is to get the app into the email to send that. All right, so let me just go back here and see if I can grab my phone again, bring it into the screen. Here we are. So we're back on my phone. It's a little bit stuck here. I'm just going to try to get it up on my computer again. Sometimes this screen sharing app does play some tricks on me, unfortunately. We'll see if that. Come on. I'm doing a demo. Be kind to me. Yeah, obviously it's not listening. Let me just give it one more go. So I really want to show you how it looks when they get the app on their phone. Yay, success. Totally jinxing it. Okay, so you'll see here, it says a message, Avenir, hi Klaus, here's the COVID info app. I open up the SMS. There we go. Hi Klaus, here's the COVID-19 info app. Make sure to add it to your home screen on your mobile phone. Link to app. They click the link and the browser opens on their phone. In just a sec, it will show on your screen as well. Now, I've had this app open before, so I'm not seeing what your recipients will see, because normally there will be a pop-up going all the way down here pointing to this icon saying, click here to save it to home screen, and it will show the icon that they need to click on. So that pop-up will go down the screen and point to the button down here, letting them know to save it to their home screen. So when they click that button, they can go down to add to home screen. This is Danish for add to home screen. They click there, the logo will be shown, the title will be shown, and when they click add, it goes on to the it goes onto their phone. So there you go. So they click that one and the phone opens there. So that is how it will look on the recipient's end. They will get an SMS or they will get the email, open the app, a pop-up will be telling them to save it to their home screen, and when they do, they will see the app on the home screen there. All right. I hope that covered the distribution mechanics of the app. I'm seeing that there are a lot of questions coming through, and I will see. Okay. So Jane, I hope that covered the SMS feature. You can send SMSs with links to the app to get it onto people's phones. Thomas asks, did you talk about the icon on your homepage? As well, sure, it's technical, but when I was in poor. All right, okay. So what Thomas is asking is the icon on my home screen. You saw that I put in that Corona or COVID-19 icon on my phone. The app comes with a standard icon, but you can actually go ahead and change that. So in the app, it's a little bit hidden, but I'll show you how it's done. In the app, we have the possibility to go into the head element of the HTML. Don't worry, it's not too hairy, even though it sounds technical. So I'm going into developer mode to get the HTML of my application. It opens up, and I can go to colors, fonts, and head. And over here in the head element, this is where the icon is specified. So I'm just going to zoom in a little. Here we are. Here, these lines of code tells the app which icon it should put onto your user's phone. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you have an icon. So for the sake of this example, I grabbed an icon online and simply grabbed this image and uploaded it to eMarketeer, right? Then I got the link to this image on eMarketeer, and I simply added that link to this place. Right. So when I've done that, and to these 4 lines, so just add your link to your icon in these places here, and you will have a custom icon on your phone. We have, let me see, I think I've got that open up here somewhere. Yeah, on our support site, we have an article explaining exactly how you go through this process. This is the standard app icon that comes with the template. So you can create a custom icon. It explains how you upload it to eMarketeer to get the URL, where you need to drop it in, and you will have the icon on your home phone, on your home screen of the phone. I'll make sure to include this link in the follow-up email that we send out, so you have instructions on how to do that. Thank you, Thomas, for reminding me about that. It is absolutely possible to change the icon. It just is a little bit different than what you would normally do, because it needs to end up on people's phones. So we can't really do it the normal way with pictures in eMarketeer. Thank you for that. Yeah, that was the same question from Esbjørn, so I hope that answered that. Icons on the starting page. Yeah, right. I saw that you had some rolling cogwheel in one of your examples. So what the icons that Esbjørn is talking about are these ones on the app. Now these ones also come standard in the template, but you can go ahead and change those as well. The icons that we use are from an icon library called Font Awesome. Here we are. Esbjørn, I had that question anticipated, so I've cheated like any good TV chef and prepared it a little bit. So if you Google Font Awesome, you will go to the Font Awesome website, and there you will see all of the different fonts, icons that you can use in the apps. You can probably use even more than these, but this is it's got more than 5,000 in the entire Fonts Awesome library, so you can go ahead and use these. So let's say I wanted to have this icon on one of my bullets or icons in the app. You click the icon and you get the icon name. Here it is. This is the icon name for this specific icon. So you want to copy that, and then in the app, you would go to edit the HTML. I don't know if we have a support article on that one also. I'll check it out. If there is a support article on how to change the icons on the navigation, I'll include that in the follow-up as well. I'm not quite sure. If not, support, if you're listening, better write an article on this one as well. So in the HTML here, you will see different styles depending on what you've chosen. You've got menu style. That's one of the styles for the home screen here. And then when you scroll down, you have an icon list as well. So you want to find the section that uses the look and feel you've chosen for your home screen. So scrolling down, this is a pretty long one. I could probably do a search as well. Let me see if that works. Nah, that just froze on me. Just give me a sec. I'm gonna try talking while this loads. What you will find is the icons list or the icons menu you'll find over here. And for each headline, like you see about product services, you will see the icon name there as well. And you just paste in the icon name that you found on Found Awesome and use that instead. If there are no more questions at this point, I would just want to mention that we have some more webinars coming up. We have, just after Easter, we have a super cool webinar together with our partner Pineberry. And Karin there is very, very experienced in SEO, search engine optimization, getting quality traffic to your website, and she's going to talk about 5 factors to succeed with SEO. So I highly encourage you to join that if you care about your site's SEO performance and getting more organic traffic to your site. We are going to add more webinars to the webinars page. So keep an eye out for emarketeer.com/webinars, where we will keep you posted on the stuff that's coming up on the webinar front there. We have all of our on-demand webinars there as well. So if there's content that you want to revisit, or maybe see for the first time from webinars you've missed, go check that out. There are no more questions coming through. I hope that no, Carl says, and a Mac never freezes, huh? I know, Carl. Yeah. And people replying about the demo ghost. Thanks for understanding. I was almost at the end of the demo. I was going into the questions there before I froze. So luckily, I got through almost everything. I hope that this inspired you to think about how you could add mobile apps to your marketing mix. Use it for customers, for staff, for event goers, or product information, whatever you think is a good idea. If you've built an app that you think is cool and is a little bit outside of the box, I would be thrilled if you would send me a link. Let me know if I can share it with others, or if you just think it's for my eyes only. I would love to see what you've built, because it really inspires us as well. And maybe you want to do more app templates for you guys. Let me know what you would like to see there. The landscape mode is noted, Carl. Okay. And if that's it with regards to the questions, I will just thank you so much for your time on the webinar today. I hope that you got some food for thought. home here and hope to see you on a future webinar, be it on SEO or any of the other marketing topics, or on the e-marketeer focused ones that we do as well. I look forward to seeing you there.